auto ID, ear recognition, and shape-based human detection for user identification. So I'm going to discuss to you the introduction or background of our study, the developed system, its system architecture and research design, results and discussions, conclusion, and recommendations. So, to start, asynchronous learning is now widely used as an approach to distance learning, but there are at risk when it comes to security issues in distance learning, such as misrepresentations in examinations and other forms of cheating. Authenticity of the user is important. Sorry. To prevent misrepresentations. However, nowadays we now have innovations for this. Like, for example, the use of biometrics as user identification, such as fingerprints, face, iris, and many more. But this requires, it can be used over prolonged user identification, but it requires direct contact, which may be affected by changes like in facial expression, emotion, age, and other changes, physiological changes. So, do you know that there are other type of biometrics that can be used to solve this problem? So it is the ear recognition. Ear recognition is very promising biometric system that we can use for prolonged user authenticity. It is better than the face recognition. Face recognition can be affected by physical changes, which we refer to as physical changes. So ear recognition is used to check the authenticity of the user. Like for example, in logging into to the user's account. So how about during the examination? What can we be used to what's it called this? To detect the user in front of the examination. So is the chance of the shape-based human detection to take place. It is used for prolonged user interaction. It will detect the user while taking the examination. Similarly, with the proctored examination, which wherein unnecessary movements is prohibited. So there have been numerous researches that sought to solve the problem of security there have been numerous studies that have been sought to solve the problem in security in user identification authenticity. Like for example, the works of ICIAS, Alfred V, which was published in 1989. In his study, according to his study, ear recognition has certain advantage to other established biometric system, as it does not affect by age, by changes physical, as which we refer to as physical changes. But the other study that we relate to is the study of GAL, the biometric authentication to prevent cheating, which was published last February 2012. According to a study, user authenticity system should include at least one physiological biometric system, and other ones the behavioral biometric system. So that's what we come up with the ear recognition as our physiological biometric system, and the shape-based human detection as our behavioral biometric system. So the developed system Our systems developed using Visual C# and MATLAB for our front end, and SQL for our back end. Since our system is inclined to image processing, it requires camera which is connected to the computer. So here's the sample of user login and monitoring. So our system only accepts normal ears of the user, the right ear of the user, and after he logs into this account or during the examination, the system will detect the user in front of the camera. It is for the monitoring. And for system architecture, and to start, first we have to register the ear of the user in our database. So our system will capture the user's right ear, and then it will undergo PCA method, which is principal component analysis method. The ear image captured by the system is in JPEG format, and it will undergo pre-processing. The ear image is cropped in 400 by 500 pixels. And next to normalization, the geometric normalization masking, where the online ear area will be excluded by the method. And next, the cutting edge detection through feature extraction, and then it will undergo training, which it will be generated the eigenspaces, and it will render the eigenspaces. The result will be in JPEG format, and it will now be stored in our database from the corresponding user. And it is here is our overall system architecture. Same with the process with the ear registration process. First, it will capture the right image ear of the user, and then if the user logs in, it will undergo verification. So same with the PCA method from the recent discussion. And then if the user is successfully logged into his account, first, if the captured image is not the same with the other registered image in our database, it will deny the access of the user. If it is registered in a database, we'll continue to our monitoring user presence, which is the examination proper. So now, while taking the examination, the system will capture still image of the user, and then it is also in JPEG format, and it will convert to grayscale format, and then using Harper scale to identify the user's upper body. It is the essence of our shape based detection. It will detect only the shape of the user in front of the computer, and if it is registered or it is the same with the image that has been captured recently to the current image, it will just repeat the process. If not, the system will block the user, and it will now return to the main page of our system. And he needs to log in again to access again his examination. So for our research design, the components implemented experimental research method, wherein is a method that we tested the system in different kind of variables, and our purpose is to assess the system's accuracy. But in recognition, we tested the lighting condition, distance, pose variation, and occlusion. When shape-based human detection, only the lighting condition and distance. So here's the results of our experimentation. We tested the degree of accuracy of ear recognition under different variable setup. So here's the different variables that we used during the experimentation. So in lighting condition, the highest accuracy rate came from the fluorescent light, under fluorescent light, which is 87.82%. In occlusion, Earrings gathered the highest accuracy rate. Next, the post variation. We gathered the highest accuracy rate in 7.50% from the 90 degrees of the user from the camera. Next, the distance from the camera. Both 40 centimeters and 50 centimeters away from the camera got the perfect accuracy rate. And for the performance rate of the shape-based human detection, the detection rate of dim light is 100%, but its false alarm rate is only 40%. The fluorescent light only got 89%, but its false alarm rate is only 17%. And the distance from the camera, 60 centimeters, got the highest average because it has 0% false alarm rate. And for our conclusion and recommendation, after experimentation of the system, the proponents found out that the performance of auto ID can be affected by environmental conditions and variables. The interrelation of the different factors can be used to achieve the highest possible accuracy rate. Like for example, in ear recognition, we got those 320 to 500 lux lighting condition, 40 to 50 centimeter distance, stud earrings or no occlusion, 90% dose variation. If we use that, variables in testing the system, we can get possible highest average accuracy rate of the system. And same with the shape-based human detection. So now we found out that auto ID is useful as a user identification system for an automated examination. And also, it can be a better user identification system in a synchronous examination. We recommend that for future works, we can use higher than 2 megapixel camera for the better performance of our image capturing. And of course, we can use other different recognition algorithms because PCA or Principal Component Analysis is the most basic algorithm to be used in image processing. Next, same with additional image processing technique. We can use different other image processing technique. And of course, the deployment of our system in a actual learning management system. And that's all. Thank you.